Little Thinker's studio, where stories sparkle and songs come to life. Are you ready for today's adventure? Let's go. This story has 3 parts. First, we'll hear what happened from Tilda's point of view. Tilda had a question. A real one. Not a school question. Not a "what time is lunch" question. A big one. A question that sat in her chest and tapped gently every day. Not loud, just steady. She didn't even know where it came from. But it was there, and she couldn't shake it. It started when her aunt moved far away. One day she was at family dinner, laughing with her orange glasses and wild stories. The next week she was in another city. No goodbye. Just gone. Grown-ups said things like, she needed space. Or, some things are just for grown-ups to handle. But Tilda's question kept tapping. Did I do something wrong? She didn't ask it. Not to her mom, not to her dad, not to Mrs. Bell. Because she didn't know how. Because it didn't feel like a real question. It felt risky. One afternoon, while packing up after school, Mrs. Bell said, "If there's ever a question you're holding in your heart, you can write it. You don't have to say it. Just drop it in our classroom question box." Tilda stared at the blue box on the shelf. She hadn't really noticed it before. It looked like a mailbox with stars and moons drawn on the sides. That night, Tilda couldn't sleep. She turned on her lamp, took out a sticky note, and wrote, "Is it my fault when someone I love leaves?" She folded it, then unfolded it, then folded it again. The next morning, she stood near the box. No one was looking. Her hand hovered over the slot, then dropped it in. And her heart. It thumped, hard but clear. That afternoon, Mrs. Bell picked 3 questions to read aloud anonymously. The third one was hers. Is it my fault when someone I love leaves? The room went still. Mrs. Bell looked up and said, "Number. It is never your fault when someone you love leaves. Grown-up choices are about grown-up things, and love doesn't disappear, even if someone does." Tilda stared at her desk. Her chest didn't feel empty anymore, just open. That evening in her journal, she wrote, "A question is like a stone. When you finally say it, it skips across the water instead of sinking in you." Now, let's go back and hear what happened from Ellie's point of view. Ellie noticed when people sat differently. When someone didn't laugh at a joke they usually liked, or when a friend closed their backpack slower than usual. And this week, she noticed Tilda, quieter than usual. Not sad exactly, just pulled inward, like her thoughts were taking up more space than the room allowed. Ellie didn't want to pry, but she wanted to see her friend. So when Mrs. Bell read the question aloud that afternoon, Ellie didn't blink. She felt the air shift. She looked around. Most kids stared at their desks. A few looked confused. Some just waited for the next thing. But Ellie, she felt her chest lean forward, like she was being pulled toward the words. She didn't know whose question it was, but she wanted to say something. After school, she slipped a note into Tilda's cubby. It said, "Some questions are brave, not because of the answer, but because you ask them." The next day, Tilda smiled at her across the table. And that was enough. That night, Ellie wrote in her journal, "Big questions don't always need big answers. Sometimes they just need to land somewhere safe." Now it's your turn. Here are 3 questions for you and your grown-up to talk about together. Have you ever had a question that felt too big or too quiet to ask? What stopped you from saying it out loud? What helps you feel safe enough to ask the things that really matter? You don't have to answer right away or out loud. But your questions matter, even if they come out as a whisper. Thanks for listening, little thinkers. Your curiosity is brave, and your voice, even when asking, is a kind of courage too. Thanks for listening to Little Thinker Studio. Keep dreaming, keep learning, and come back soon for another fun story and song. Bye-bye, Little Thinkers.